you're in a weird spot. I can't help it. This is going to be a one take. If I look tired, it's because I am. I did get some sleep last night, thank goodness. Well, I'm going to put a clip right here to show you where this all started, and then I'll explain what's... No, I'm just going to do a one take. I'm not going to splice stuff together. I'm just going to do a one take. Thursday, Dad had some side pain. He said he'd been having it for a couple days and it was really starting to aggravate him, and he couldn't sleep that well Wednesday night into Thursday. He was tired. And then we went out for lunch, which I filmed a little of, which you'll probably never see. I want burritos. And he's feeling a little better, and then about 10 o'clock Thursday night, I just hear, Stacy! And the pain got really bad and intense, so bad that he's like, he thought he was gonna check out. And so we went to the ER, and they do all the blood and the tests and check your EKG. Heart was fine, blood pressure was fine. They're just trying to find why he was having so much pain in his side. And then he had a little PP accident, so the nurse was in there cleaning him up. And that's when Dr. Funk, I love that name, came up. I'm like, he's in there getting cleaned up with the nurse. I said, is he going to get to go home tonight? And he looked at me and he goes, unfortunately, no. And I said, okay, come back and talk to us when you come back. He's like, okay, I'll make a lap. So the nurse got done cleaning Dad up, and I went in and I said, just so you know, I know you're not going to go home. He's like, what do you mean? I said, I saw the doctor out there. Just prepare yourself mentally. You're not going to go home. I didn't know why. I didn't have any. He goes, well, what do you say? I'm like, I don't. He's going to come back and talk to us. I do not know. Well, he has liquid in his, it's all on his left side, in his lung over there, and they were seeing a mass, but apparently that was just a shadow of the liquid that was there, because right now they're saying there's no mass, but that's now. And so they're like, we don't know if this is just infection or cancer, and they're talking about all kinds of things, and we're like, oh. He goes, this is a small hospital down the road from our house. He said they're going to put you in a bed up in the bigger hospital. We're going to transport you up there. By now, this is like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then Dad and I are like, we live down the road from the hospital, could I transport him, and then we could stop home for a minute? Because Dad wanted to put on clean underwear and shorts and get out of the pee-pee stuff, and he had to grab his BiPAP machine, and he got his phone charger, he grabbed an extra pair of underwear, and the doctor's like, I see no problem in that. You guys do live right down the road. Just go there, get what you... Because I wanted to put a wheelchair out by where I park my van, so when I come home, I just would be able to get in. Okay, and he's like... And he said, I don't see any problem with that. He said, but we're not going to let you go until we get a bed secured at the other hospital. We're like, okay. So they came and unhooked him, and they finally were getting the bed. They did get him a bed, and they wrapped his arm up where the IV was, so it wouldn't get disturbed while we were out. We came home. We were here maybe 10-15 minutes just to do what we needed to do, and we left here like 4:30 in the morning, I think. It's like a 25-minute drive there to the other hospital, and he had his paperwork. They knew what bed number he was going to. The ER guy came out with a wheelchair and got him. He grabbed his little bag, and we said goodbye. This was like I got home at 6:05 in the morning. And I called my cousin Ronnie, told him what was happening. And so then I passed out for like 3 hours. My body was just done. And I talked to Dad. Well, I've talked to him many times. Ron went and saw him yesterday after he had a procedure where they tapped his side and drained the fluid off his lungs. And they're saying it's a lot better than what they thought. They don't think there's any kind of... It's just fluid we're dealing with. Just fluid. No other masses or tumors or anything. And so he had that procedure on Friday. Ron went and saw him. He sounded really good. And then they wanted to put him on some antibiotics, and then maybe this morning he would get to come home. Well, he called me this morning, and let me tell you, he was a sad camper. He is not going to be able to come home today. They're going to actually tap into his side again with a tube to continually drain it, because it's and they're going to put medication right into that area, because they're trying to do it the most invasive way they can, because they don't want to crack his chest open to get to his lungs. I'm like, oh good golly. Oh good golly. He sounded good today, just sad that he couldn't come home. He said he had the pot roast last night and it was really good for hospital food, you know. So I'm just collecting stuff right now. My cousin Barb's going to be stopping over here in a few and taking him a few things. And I have a friend who's going to come help me go see Dad tomorrow. But right now I'm just packed up. He wants his razor because he has his BiPAP machine and he needs to shave to keep it smooth to get a good seal. So I got that. He wants a box of his Kleenexes because he likes them better than the ones I gave him at the hospital. I got his toothbrush and toothpaste, another extra pair of underwear. What else do I have here? I have a little collection of stuff on the corner of the table. And then when my cousin Barb comes, I'm going to see if she'll run and check the mail at the post office. I have some things. I just frantically at my desk wrote out what I need to write out money-wise. So I have a few things for her to put in the mail. And so she's going to go check on him today. Hopefully when she gets here, he won't be in his procedure for his tube. We don't know when that was going to happen. So, because Ron went yesterday, and the first time he went, he was off getting that procedure, getting his lung tapped, and then he went back and saw him a little while later. And Dad called me. He goes, Ronnie was just here. And I'm like, oh, that's good. And then I talked to Dad for a few, and I hang up, and I call Ronnie right away. I'm like, how do you look? That's the first thing I said when he answered the phone. How do you look? He goes, he looks like he wants to come home. He was antsy because, you know, once that fluid, they got some of that fluid off, he was starting to feel better. It wasn't as painful because when we drove to the ER, people, every bump, he was like, oh, and he'd breathe and it would be sharp pains and coughing. And he goes, if I had to sneeze right now, that's it. It's over for me. I said, well, don't even think about sneezing. So yeah. And then of course, Thursday, you know, I'm heading up to take him to the hospital at 4:30 in the morning, and we see lightning all north of us, and we get into rain. We get him to the hospital. I get home. I come home and I see the lightning following me, and I'm like, oh, I'm right in front of a storm. And I get home and I get in the house, and at 6:30 when I was getting ready to pass out, I could hear the rain starting. So I got home just in time. Because I had put my wheelchair, it was like halfway under the overhang, halfway out. It would have been a soaking wet mess if I had not beat the rain home. But I beat it. And today I messaged my cousin Joanna, told her what was going on, and then soon after that her mom called and asked what was going on. She's like, tell me what's happening, just let me know. And I'm like, I will. She said, if you need anything, you call. I'm like, okay. So yeah, and yesterday work was so nice. I get an email from one of our employees, Amy. She's like, here, this needs to be charged, and I told them you'd send them a paid invoice, but I told them it probably wouldn't be today, but it would probably be next Monday or Tuesday. And and at the bottom she goes, sorry to hear about Neil. If you need anything, just let me know. But I did it. I did it yesterday. I did a little bit of work yesterday just to, you know, to have something to do, to keep my mind off things, to, yeah. Other than that, boy, yesterday, we never had dinner Thursday night because neither of us were that hungry, so we each had a little root beer float. And then, you know, this all popped off at 10 o'clock. So, you know, I get home at 6, and I'm like, I'm hungry, but I'm just my tiredness overruled my hungriness. So I just passed out. And then I finally got up, and I looked, we don't have a whole lot of groceries in the fridge right now, and so I'm like, I'm just going to go to McDonald's. And I looked at my app, and it was buy a double cheeseburger or 6-piece nuggets and get one free. I'm like, okay, that's going to be what I have. I'm going to get a double cheeseburger and a 6-piece nuggets. So I went up to McDonald's and I came home, and that was the first thing I had to eat in like 26 hours. And then I talked to Dad, and he didn't get to eat till yesterday after me. I said, I know you're hungry. He goes, I am starving. And I asked the nurse, what's the best thing on the hospital menu that is doable, she goes, the pot roast. So, and I asked him today, and that's when he said, hey, it wasn't that bad. He called, he goes, I ordered myself pot roast with mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, a little fruit cup, and bread and butter. He was so excited. He has a big room by himself. It's got a couch over by a big window. It's got a table, which he likes because he likes to get up and sit in a chair and eat at a table. He doesn't like to be in the bed. And he said, I got a big bathroom with a walk-in shower. He goes, I'm going to take a shower today if they'll let me. And then he goes, but I haven't pooped. I'm like, well, you're probably on pain medicine, so, you know. We all know what pain medicine does. Stops you forever. So Monday morning I have to call and cancel his dentist appointment for Tuesday. And he's also sad because we were supposed to go to the Serve Fest today. Is today Saturday? I've lost it. Yeah, it is Saturday. Today was the Serve Fest, and then Monday we were going to go to the fair, and he's all sad. He's like, I'm like, Dad, don't worry about it, you know. We're good. So yeah, if you can all keep Dad in your thoughts, that would be much appreciated. So yeah, this is going to be your vlog instead of what I recorded the last several days. It is it. Bye.